Hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll discuss Dioxus' latest O7 release packed with breakthrough updates that redefine how you build, render, and hot reload your Dioxus apps. There are tons of updates in this latest release, and it's a bit too much to cover everything in a single video. So we'll talk about the top updates and specifically focus on native rendering for this video, which is kind of talk of the town for this Dioxus 0.7 release. So stick around and make sure you have subscribed to not miss out on any upcoming content. And if you're new to this channel, we have worked with Dioxus prior version on this channel. Make sure to check out as those videos pop on your right top. So without further ado, let's dive into it and let's discuss the top updates. The first change, hot patching of Rust code at runtime. So hot patching updates your running Dioxus apps code instantly without restarting or losing state. So basically you can update your Rust code on fly and observe the changes without re-rendering or restarting your application. And this change, which is a change of developer efficiency, is termed as the biggest feature of this release. And with this, you don't need to rebuild your application again and again. Also, it's supported with sub-second, but for all the components and server function, it is automatically supported. So you don't need to wrap your code in sub-second, and it's basically directly supported for all your server functions and all the Dioxus components. We'll talk about this change more when we discuss on hot patching, or we'll do some hands-on in the future videos where we we'll discuss the other changes and use this developer efficiency stuff. And then comes the second change, native renderer, which I personally feel is the biggest, as this would help Dioxus reach to mass audience and add to its adoption. And since it's an increment on the prior version, so we could assume better integration with Axiom for server functions, or even better integration or the experience as a whole. So yes, that is the third major update, which is revamping the server function and better Axiom integration, which we'll do hands-on in a separate video. And as part of this release, we have support for code splitting and lazy loading in WebAssembly target, especially for web frontend, which helps reduce initial load time and only fetch what is required. Now, this is super useful if you're building something which is super big or use those complex application, then lazy loading is the way to go. And we'll look at lazy loading. We'll do a hands-on on this one as well. Let's talk about the last update before we discuss how native renderer will work in a more detail. In addition to existing signals, which you should know if you have been following my channel for some time now, we did use signal quite often when we were discussing Dioxus basics, advanced, and later when we did application development with Dioxus, as signal is used for mutating your state. And now O7 release adds stores which are designed for nested or complex reactive state, for example collections like maps, trees, and let you get reactive handles to those subfields. And all you need to do is add derive and store on top of your existing structs. But don't worry, we'll cover store in detail in a separate video. Now let's talk more about native renderer. In the past, we did discuss Dioxus builds into a WebAssembly, which is then rendered as a web view. For web, directly through the browser with WebAssembly target. For mobile, iOS and Android, using the WebView component for iOS and Android. And for desktop, with WebView, like embedding Chromium and stuff. But with this Dioxus 0.7 release, now we have native rendering. Let's get a high-level picture of how it works. So right here, you have your RSX blocks, which is basically your components. And then these components return virtual nodes, which are basically lightweight Rust structs that describe your UI elements and their hierarchy. Then Dioxus core collects those virtual nodes into a virtual DOM tree inside the memory, which is your VDOM. And then Blitz engine picks your virtual DOM and interprets it, figuring out what HTML elements, styles, and layouts are required. And then we have Teffy and Stylo. So Teffy computes layout, for example position, sizes, while Stylo parses and applies CSS rules to elements. And now we know what is to be rendered, where it is to be rendered, size, styling, and pretty much everything. Then comes the part where we have to now construct the render tree. So Blitz then builds a render tree that describes what needs to be drawn, now fully styled and positioned. And then your newly constructed render tree is sent to WGPU, which translates it into GPU, draw calls for fast smooth rendering, and finally display on native window where WNet, which is right here, and then you get your native experience. And what it helps with is giving you a smoother, faster and more consistent performance. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys are as excited as me for trying out all these new updates, and remember there are tons of other updates, so make sure to go through this release doc in the video description, and I'll catch you guys in the future video where we'll try out and do hands-on on all these changes and build more amazing and smoother applications. That's it. I'll catch you later.